Do you know when I knew? Let me not lie. Do you know when I knew this man is going to jail? Should I say what I knew? When he started saying or doing all that brother love, and then he changed his name to
I think changing his name
love
to love
something.
was diabolical.
Yes.
I don't know why Tommy, start the podcast now. Why are you looking at me?
Hi everyone. Good afternoon, good day. Welcome to a new episode of Lowkey Relatable Pod. I go by the name DJ T Garbs.
And I'm Valerie.
Yes, and welcome to the ASMR episode of Lowkey Relatable. Do you know what? People are gonna listen to it. Oh no!
Like
what the hell? No,
I was trying to do one mouth thing, and I thought that sounded so weird. Sorry to whoever is listening to it with earphones. Ew. Okay.
Anyway, what's up? What's popping, Jerry?
Welcome to a brand new episode of the podcast. Please
Live
move your watch, I beg.
Live.
Please move your watch. Please move your watch so that you can rest. Honestly, I was going to wear my own, but I was like, honestly, everybody needs to just
Get the hell.
you know, it's one of those days.
Okay.
Okay.
A lot more.
What have you been up to?
I've been surviving.
I just realized I've lost my earring again. This hole in my ear does not want to be pierced. I can't count how many earrings I put in this hole.
Are you serious?
It just keeps falling out every single time.
Do you know what happens to me and my piercings?
What?
Like they'll fall out consistently for like maybe 3 or 4 months, and I'll keep changing it. Then one day it'll fall out at a really inconvenient time.
And
then
you
I'll
just
be like,
do
do you know what? I'm going to do this one more time. And if it falls out again, it can fucking close. And then I do it one more time and then it just never goes anywhere.
See,
So I think you need to shock your piercings into staying.
honestly, I've even been thinking about. Honestly, let me not even talk about the things I've been thinking about lately. But honestly, I'm thinking about taking out some of my piercings.
Why?
Honestly, I want to do different ones. Like, I want to swap it out. And I feel like the ones I want to do and the ones I currently
So
have.
it's not even, you're not on an eat, pray, love jelly. You just want a
Fuck
different
no.
look. Because that's what
Eat, pray, where?
That's how you were coming across.
No, dear. So, so like, I want to redo my tongue and my smiley. So I used to have my tongue and my smiley.
I had my
pierced.
tongue pierced as well.
Of course, all the bad bitches had their tongue pierced at some point.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not even gonna lie. I did mine when I was like 18 I did most of the things I did in my life when I was 18 or 19.
as well. Did your parents see yours?
So, oh my God. Piercings and my family.
Oh, wow.
So, let me tell you what happened. When I went to uni, because I went to uni and I got in with diploma, not like regular undergraduate.
Okay, fair.
So I started in school in January and I needed to have a certain CGPA for me to be able to go to year 2 from first year of diploma.
Okay.
That was everybody's goal, you know? Instead of, because like if you get above a 4.0, you go to year 2. If you get between a 3.5 to a 3.9, you go to year 1.
Okay, fair. Oh, okay.
And then
so
if you get below, but then I feel like if you get below, then you have to do year 1, right?
Okay, yeah.
You have to do diploma 2. And, you know, in school, that time, it seems like if you do diploma 2, you don't have sense. But it makes sense to do the diploma because you end up with 2 degrees. Like you get the HND and then the BSc after because you will now do your...
that's actually, yeah.
Yeah, but obviously that's not how we saw it. But anyway, all this to say that my results came out and I didn't get up to a 4.0. I think I got like a 3.8.
Oh, that's not bad now.
So I was going to year 1. Yes, it's not bad, but my dad was really upset.
He didn't see it at that.
Yeah, because like my mates were going to year 2, blah blah stuff like that. So my popsy was raking at me, right? And he noticed that I was wearing an earring, but like the first hole in my ear was empty. And my person was like,
What's happening?
honestly, as I'm telling you the story, I can remember my pop's face when he gauged that earring in my ear. He was like, ah. It was like a dream. My posse stopped talking about my results the instant he saw that earring.
And he just focused on the earring.
What my dad did? He asked me where I got it, where I got it pierced.
Mm-hmm.
I think at the time I got it, I had just turned 18.
Mm-hmm.
So he said that did they know that I was underage when they did the piercing? That he's going to go there and he's going to arrest the person that pierced my ear first. Then my dad called the family doctor and asked the family doctor what they can do to close the piercing.
I'm confused. As per, come and sew it.
The doctor was like, she can just remove the earring and it's closed naturally. I'm just trying to tell you how dramatic my dad is. Anyway, long story short, that's why I moved out early.
Damn.
My dad hates like my dad. I don't know if it's the generation he's from because my dad is 89.
Mm-hmm.
He's very old. I'm 31, so like when I was born, he was probably like
50.
Yeah, 58.
Damn,
he was almost
58.
60. Yeah, he was almost 60 when my mom had me. Exactly.
Bumba Clark.
Yeah, my dad's. So yeah, we're from like two completely different generations.
He's a real life boomer.
Like he had at that age, people had died. Like he had lived a full life. No, he had lived a full life by the time he had me.
Oh yeah, fair.
That's what I'm trying to say.
He's very set in his ways. It's not you that's going to come and
honestly
change his mind.
I mean, I can only do my best. But then I just think that like because when I walked with the conversation I walked into that you guys were having about like permission to go home and all, like go out and all those things, I found it so funny because first of all, I moved out when I was 22, and I moved out because I wanted to be on TV, and my dad didn't want me to be on TV.
Are you serious?
Yes. When I wanted to study mass communication in school, my dad told me that he drew a roadmap for me, and he told me that he actually drew a girl.
As a stick man.
Yes.
Or stick woman, rather.
And he said that this is the journey that I want to be on. And the babe was going in one direction. And he said that this journey that I'll go on, if I choose to go on it, by the time I get to this point, I have to turn back and come back to the journey he's telling me to go on. That was the illustration my dad. That was the illustration my family gave me for me to not study mass communication in uni. He said I must study economics, and my dad used to show up to my department,
as in pop up, as in a drive by.
Yes.
Jeez.
He would just show up. One day I'll just be leaving. One day, like on 2 different occasions, I can never forget. I was just walking out of class. I just saw my father standing in front of my HOD's office. I was just like that was the first time it happened. I was like, Daddy.
Is everything okay?
I just came to see that you were in economics. I wanted to see your results. I was like, Daddy, you've seen. He said he wanted to be sure that was my results. I'm telling you.
Do you know what? Yeah, when I hear like people that were born and raised in Nigeria like talk about their childhood, I always think maybe my parents are white. I just don't know.
Maybe, because
maybe my parents are like what?
It was, my mom was actually very chill. My mom is actually the definition of gentle parenting. She never beat us. She never. But if my mom says she talks to you like this,
yeah, same with my mom actually.
You overarrange.
You feel it, yeah.
But my dad also. I think I can remember. I can count the times my dad probably beats my brother, but never me. I don't think my dad ever hits him. I don't think so. I actually genuinely can't recall. I know there was a day that my cousins, so my brother and my cousins, like my mom's in their younger sister's kids, they were in my house. So it's 3 of them, 2 of us, me and my brother. My sister was not. My sister had gone to school. And my brother and my cousin, the boy cousin, they were making Molotov cocktails at the back of the house. As in actual Molotov cocktails? Like they were soaking newspaper inside kerosene and putting inside bottle. Just to see what's like. They were young boys. Like they were experimenting.
How is that the experiment she wants to do?
Anyway,
Okay.
they probably watched something.
Fair,
I don't know what was going on in their
Maybe
minds,
it was
bro.
a Jay-Z song. Jay-Z has sang about
No, like I don't know what was going on in their minds.
But sure, they did it.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
And so my dad had gone out,
Mhm.
but they needed to fix the pumping machine. So my dad came back because the electrician met my dad on the road. So when we heard the horn now, everybody just ran like fear inside the house. They left the evidence right there. Like,
Jesus.
Safe to say that, that day was...
It was bloody.
It was a deadly day.
Jesus.
But my popsy only slapped me.
As per you are the one that's all this, you should be
I'm
watching
the youngest.
Oh.
I'm the youngest
You're
of everybody.
Oh, yes.
So he just slapped me, but he beat the remaining. I just collected one slap. Yes, he brushed.
Do you know what? Yeah, let me not lie. My dad, the only person that tested, not the only person, my brother and I tested my father. Segba, I apologize. Don't vex you, yeah. But my brother tested. My brother said, "You're a man, I'm a man, let's do this."
But you know something that's so funny about that is as soon as we got older, it never even because of how we especially my mom's kids, especially how we grew up with my dad and how we related with my dad. There's just some things that he says now that to the third party ear, it will sound so out of pocket. Yeah. But we'll just
that's him. That's him.
Right.
Take him or leave him.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of love there. Obviously, whenever I used to talk about my dad, people used to say, I love my dad. I love him very much. I know that he loves me. That's why he was doing the things that he was doing.
Yeah.
I don't feel like, he secretly hated me or something. Even though when I was young, I did. But as I've gotten older and I've learned to understand him, I know that every single thing he did for me, he did out of love, right? Some things that were just so unnecessary.
100%.
Hey! 100%. Okay, my curfew was 4 p.m.
That's where are you gonna go?
Nowhere, dear. When I was going to visit people, my curfew was 4 p.m. up until when? Maybe when I was 18. Then obviously I had gone to uni, and when I came back, I was like, 4 p.m. is crazy. My daddy now said, okay, your curfew is 7 p.m. Listen, if I get home a minute after 7, that means I'm not going to go out for 2 weeks.
Really?
You also have to pick the day you're going to go out. If you go out today, you can't go out tomorrow. And if you go out this weekend, you cannot go out next weekend.
Really?
You didn't whine? Are you joking? You have to, and then
I'm not even
if you ask your momsy, that he wants to go out, and your popsy says go and ask your mother, that means you're not going anywhere. He just wants her to deliver it to you softly. Yes. If you ask your mom that he wants to go out and she says yes, that means she already knows that your popsy, or she knows she will talk to him so that she will allow you to go out. But if you ask your father that he wants to go out and he says go and ask your mother, you're not going anywhere. One day I was going out and my dad said, "Is that what you're wearing?" I said, "Yes." I said, "Go and show your mother." Immediately I went to my house. She said, "Well, don't you already know?"
Even she did confused.
No. She was not as confused. She first of all looked at me. My mom's actually very chill.
No, she's probably looking at you like you should know your father by now. Why?
So she's just
why?
Just go away. So I grew up in a household where tights, when tights were raining. Yeah. My tops had to be long, so I'm a rebel. I'm a textbook
fair
black sheep rebel, because when I was going to secondary school, I didn't want to cut my hair. So my parents changed my secondary school and then made me cut my hair. So cutting my hair was for so many reasons, but now it's a sort of rebellion because I know my dad hates it. But really? I was I didn't want to cut my hair then. That time I hated it. honestly, I'm a rebel. Like I feel like it cures some inner childhood things in me.
Wow.
I'm telling you, the piercings, the tattoos. Let me not even talk about the day my pop saw my first tattoo. Like, and he saw it like at least 6 years after I got it too. He said, when he asked me what that was, I think my pop said that it was henna.
Same! Oh my God, same! Yeah! That's exactly what I said to my mom. I would never forget. I would never forget that day.
I told my daddy it was henna. My daddy said, that the next time he sees me, he better not be there.
Yo!
Listen, but then, I then got married. So when I was getting married, my dad really just... So when I moved out first, moving out was the first step.
Okay.
When I moved out, he really didn't care about, like
Damn.
as long as you're happy, you're fine, everything's
yeah.
okay. And then when I now got married, it was literally like times 2. He literally felt like he just said, this one's another man's problem. And now that I'm no longer married, it's just like,
well, you are still surviving, so
this girl is like, she's just in a world of her own.
Do you know what? Yeah, I feel like for me, it's the complete opposite. Like up until I was, so I didn't go to uni in London. I went to uni in Leicester.
Mm-hmm.
So from 18, technically, I'm staying by myself. I'm in another city.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get? I'm working, I'm living and schooling in another city by myself with me and my friend. So I think the way my mom reasoned it was, I am not there. If she wants to stroll out of her house at 3 a.m., who's going to stop her? But as soon as I step foot in higher education, I've never asked my parents, can I go? I will tell my mom, oh, mom, I'm going out. I'll be back this time. Who are you going with? This is who I'm going with. Mommy, if I will, like, how outside? Like, I'll go out Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. When my mom moved to Nigeria, my dad used to say, don't you think you should rest? I'd rest this for weeklings. I'll rest you in a week, B. I'm going out. This outside, I'm going.
What I even find so funny is, when I was in uni, I used to actually tell my mom when I was leaving school.
Okay.
Obviously, not every time, because she would be like, girl. But
school.
Let me tell you a funny story.
Okay.
For my very close friend's 18th birthday, she used to go to school she used to go to Legon in Ghana.
Oh, wow. Okay. Valerie, no.
Are you ready for this story?
Valerie, no.
Okay. So my very close friend, I've known her my entire life.
I'm so scared.
She's going to school in Legon.
Okay.
So for her birthday, she wanted to fly me to Ghana. I was going to leave school and go to Ghana. So, I was like, okay, when she buys my tickets, I'll know for a fact that I'm going to Ghana, right? Okay. So I just I was like, hey, where you buy my tickets now? Then I'll know that for real, I'm coming to Ghana. Bang, boom, boom. She sends me my tickets. I said, alrighty then. Accra, here we go.
Aquaba.
So this time of my friend's birthday is in November.
Okay.
And this coincided with, she's a Scorpio as well. This coincided with my grandma's 40th day prayer remembrance, right?
Valerie.
So, my like if you don't know, my mom is part Ghanaian. So my mom's family house, and my mom grew up in Accra, so her family house is in Accra.
Mm-hmm.
So this coincided with when it was time for my grandma's 40th day.
I don't like where this is going.
So, I called my mom on, I think I was flying on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I called my mom on Wednesday. I was like, oh, hey, mom. Oh, how are you? Blah, blah. I said, mommy, I'm going to Ghana. Oh. She said, let me just tell you, because I'm leaving the country. I'm going to Ghana. She said, hey. Now, wow, enjoyment. Wait, you're going. So she knows my friends. So she's like, okay, be safe.
Okay,
when are you going? I said, I'm going tomorrow. She was like, why are you just telling me today?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, mommy, I wasn't sure. I was scared, blah, blah, blah. She was like, okay, good you told me, because we're going to Accra tomorrow as well. I said, mommy, what flight are you on?
Jesus.
Do you know that we were on the same fucking flights.
So you're looking at your dad. Your dad is looking at you.
Listen, can you imagine how that, if I did not yarn my mom, see how I would have got to that airport? And I'd have, listen, we were on the same fucking flights. Bro.
God that save you.
My mom just said, better just tell him that you're planning a surprise.
I said that's better surprise.
Mom said, better just tell him that you were coming to Mama, that's how my mom said. I said, my rider. Shout out to my mom that, we're planning a surprise, you know? So I surprised my dad at the airport. Anyway, got to Ghana.
At least he did not surprise you.
My pop said, did you tell you what happened though? Got to Ghana. Mm-hmm. This Ghana trip was a huge lesson. Got to Ghana. I was staying at my friend's hostel. My friend's hostel was very close to my parents, my grandparents' house. So it was very easy for me to commute. I even went. Mom, see, because of like me telling my mom on Wednesday, my mom got her cousin in Ghana to sew the ashrebi for me, so that it would be as if I really
were.
I went to do like the prayers, everything, and I went for my friend's birthday. We had a jolly good time.
Love that for you, babe.
Tell me why I missed my flight back to Lagos.
Please.
As I missed my flights, I was a student, mind you. So I was like, my parents are in Ghana. They'll buy me to get back. My mom just looked at me. My mom said, what did you plan for me to come to Ghana? My sister, guess what? My father said, Diddy confirm his tickets for bus. Listen.
There's no fucking way. I know you're a bus ticket. You took a bus. Wait.
To be.
You took a bus.
I entered the bus like mad. How else will I get back to late? How else will I go back to school?
You should have started schooling in Ghana.
My mom said he has paid my school fees and I'm in Ghana. I'm telling him that I want tickets to go. I want flight tickets to go. But did he know that what's his business with me? Yeah. And my mom said, but your daddy just has to teach you a lesson. It's just a lesson you have to learn.
So she let you get on the bus as well?
My mom said, She said, honestly, why did you miss your flight? It was already a sweet trip. Why did you miss your flight? What were you doing? You were enjoying too much. Why did you miss your flight? Zero sympathy from the woman. She said, I think this is a lesson you have to learn. That's what she told me.
I learned you did.
In the massivest way. And I asked you today if I've ever missed a flight before.
How long is that journey from Accra to
my sister?
18 hours?
The good Lord knows.
Jesus.
All I know is that you come down at every border to stamp your passport. Listen, you feel like as if by the end of that trip, you feel like as if you're globetrotting, going stamp your passport throughout Europe, Bosnia, Seme border, and Cotonou border. You just stamp your passport.
I'm disgusted.
I entered that bus in a big way. I'm telling you. And I learned that, yeah, I did.
You learned your lesson.
Did I? I don't think I ever traveled again, Sha. But I definitely came to Lagos multiple times. Are you joking? Or like when me and my cousin, after we graduated from secondary school, we tried to go to, what's the name of that club? 11:45? Or which club did they used to do that? There was one club that they used to host Big Brother after party, Big Brother eviction party that year. I don't know whether it was Vola or was it? It wasn't 45. It was one club like this. I can't remember what club it was or more.
I wasn't here.
That's how we told our family members we're going to Silver Betima on Amadu Bello. The club that we were at was my cousin was going to tell Apostle that I should tell Apostle that we're walking on the road looking for the tank. God. I've done some dumb shit, man. To be honest, fair, man. I understand why.
But I feel like it's part of growing up.
Yeah, like, I feel like I did all of those things. All of those things kind of made me who I am today.
Yeah, 100%.
They definitely contributed to who I am today, for sure.
I feel as a child, there's certain things you need to do that are stupid
I
that
think so.
your older self can't do now, but like at the time it probably made sense to you.
Honestly, I also think that like I was genuinely doing some things for the plot.
100. That's the best time to do anything for the plot.
I feel like it kind of season gave me like a bit of a garnishing in my life. I'm not even gonna lie.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm very happy for like the chances I took and like being like taking chances on myself, you know. Because like I said, when I moved out when I was 22, imagine all the stories I've said about how strict my dad was. Can you imagine what it was like for me to move out when I was 22? Which dream when my papa no get? Which dream when you no get that year or more? It was not funny.
Oh gosh.
I was just like, Daddy, I'm out.
Relax,
this,
baby
like,
boy.
You know, but the thing about it is the first time like my dad actually watched me on TV.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had been on TV for like maybe like 6 weeks, maybe 6 months. I remember that phone call at first being so touching, then eventually upsetting me so much. But like my dad called me at 7 a.m. one day, just before 7 actually, and he was like, "Your mother showed me your show last night." I was like, by this time we're not even speaking, because when I moved out he wasn't speaking to me. And I was like, okay. And he was like, "You're doing very well, I'm proud of you." And I actually started crying. And then I was like, "You didn't have to wake me up at 7 a.m. to tell me this."
You know, I was gonna comment on that because 7 a.m. we have rules in our family. You know, you're not allowed to call anybody before 8:30 in the morning unless someone's dead or in hospital.
Honestly, we need to put that rule in my family too.
We don't like, you cannot do early morning phone call with any of us. Like, if it's not an emergency and you're calling me to chit chat, oh, we're gonna have words. Like we're gonna have words. No bloody way.
When my sister was around, my sister would be buzzing me at, I can't even know what time I'm like, "Guy, I'm hungover. I'm not a mom like you. Like, I beg."
Even my mom knows the drill. Once she sees that I'm outside and it's 4 a.m., she don't used to call me before 12.
Do you know the day I told my sister that I was hungover and I she just started laughing and said, "I better get here fast." I'm telling you. Like, my senior sister, I best believe I ran there.
I feel nobody, do you know what? I ran there. Go like easy mad. On me. Go easy on me. But I don't think we talk about the difficulty of being a younger sister often enough.
A useful younger sister.
A useful younger sister. Yeah, not a worthless one. Because a useful younger sister.
But like, there's some just some younger sisters that will just not do anything for you. But I'm a very like show up for my sisters kind of sister, and I have a lot of them. You know,
damn, I only have like, one. If I had more than one brother, one sister.
I do have one brother and one sister technically.
No, you have half siblings as well. They're still your siblings.
So like, that's why I said technically.
Yeah, fair.
So like, I feel like that definitely made me useful, because there are times where majority of them were in the house and like, "What are you doing? Like, come on, be useful."
Screaming. What's the age gap between you and your sister?
8 years.
Okay.
But we have the exact same birthday.
That's so cute.
I know.
That's really adorable.
Yeah.
Your mum ate on that
birthday. One. Yeah.
Your mum ate with that one.
I think that is so cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can remember my mom making me and my sister have a joint birthday when I was turning 8 and she was turning 16, and my sister wanted to vomit.
I get it. I do get it.
Like, my mom even bought us matching outfits, so she bought us you know, that was the year where the A-line top was raining that had the beads underneath.
No, I didn't.
Then you now wear pedal pushers.
I wasn't
low rise pedal pushers, and then the top was an alternate with like a.
I know. For some reason I know the type of top you're talking
about. Girl, that was when that stuff came in, because it's back in fashion now. But like, that was when that stuff was raining that year. My mom bought, I can never forget, denim. My own beads and colors were yellow. My sister's one was red.
Hot stuffs. You people go.
My sister said, "If you don't want to remove that thing."
Do you know what my mom used to do? Which I think it's so fucking clever, yeah. So, also, my mom is a very fashionable babe. But when it came to fashion for us, it got a bit questionable.
Honestly,
it got a bit shaky. But what she would do, yeah, is we would do ankle. We'd do two twins, yeah? So then, obviously, you buy a little one, because my sister's 10 years older than me. You buy a little one and you buy a big one, right? So when the little one, I grow out of the little one, you can track that away. But then I grow into the big one.
Wow. You're really enjoying them.
I'm not gonna lie. As a child, I had a time because my siblings, like I'm the youngest, obviously, but I say I grew up almost like an only child.
Yeah.
Just because of the age difference between my siblings, my brother and my sister, right? So like, honestly, I was just a princess. Just a pretty princess.
I think my brother was even raised. I know my brother was raised completely differently from all of us. Because I remember the leeway he had, man, when we were growing up. I just used to be like, damn, nigga. Like, so you know, when I used to live with my ex, my mom knew, my siblings knew, but my dad didn't know.
Oh, as in,
we're not
in union.
Yeah.
Oh.
I used to live with my ex.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cute. Kind of. Well, we'll come back to that.
We used to live together. Go on. It was just a thing. I don't know.
Do you know why I'm surprised? Because you don't really hear things like that in Nigeria.
Really?
No?
Well, we're living together, Sha. Anyway, when my brother found out that I was living with my boyfriend at the time, my brother was like, oh, he heard I'm living with my boyfriend and I should tell daddy that. Why haven't I told daddy? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I don't think it's necessary for me to tell him, you know? Like, okay, like daddy, and my dad never met boyfriends. That was not something that, I'm telling you, out of all my sisters, and they're literally 8 girls. So the 7 girls before me.
Damn.
He did not meet any of their boyfriends. I was the first daughter that my popsy met her boyfriend.
Damn. So all of them, they just appeared with a fiancé husband.
Yes, that was how it was. Wow. Yes,
damn.
But like my ex and my dad developed like a relationship where he wanted, my ex wanted it, so that's why it happened that way. But like prior to that, like
nothing. No.
Do you understand?
Where you people have cooked your relationship thoroughly, bring
yeah,
it to my front.
Then you can now come and start. But like, what is your boyfriend? Like, what's that? Like, what are you talking about? I think we definitely grew up, but my brother had a girlfriend. My dad knew my brother's girlfriend. My dad used to so my dad used to always buy us gifts for everything. Like my first everything you can think of in his life, my papa buy them for me.
Same Z.
Like everything. Like even tongues self. My father was deeply involved in my life. He used to do it. Like, do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And he used to do the same things for my brother's girlfriends. Obviously not in an inappropriate way, but like when he visits my brother, maybe he'll give my brother's girlfriend like some pocket money, like, you know, like like just check on her, like, but
there'll be an extension. But for the girl, no, what's his business? Shebi, now you one man, he'll take care of you.
Yeah. It was very interesting to see that. Yeah. So I told him that, you know, 2 of us are raised differently, and I just think that's like, I don't know how daddy will take it. And now I think my brother tried to like tell me that if I don't tell my dad, he's going to tell my daddy. And I was like, hey, please, thank you. That means you have yourself.
It's a conversation that you're taking over. I love that.
Do you get me? But anyway, I eventually told my dad. And to be honest, my dad actually didn't care. My dad, when I told my dad said he wants to come and visit us.
Oh, that's nice. That's cute.
My dad actually came to visit. So that shocked me. Because like, guy, like what can I expect? I don't know what to expect from you.
From
my dad.
Oh, I mean, because you know what it is? Should I tell you what it is? It's age.
Do you get me?
It's age. Let me tell you something for free. They get soft in their old age.
Please don't speak on my popsy, I beg.
Oh, sorry.
Don't speak for the guy. The guy still drives, though.
No, I'm not saying
He's not a soft. He's not considered soft. My popsy is still who he was. He's not like something like, oh, he's pitying. My popsy is still as hard-headed, as challenging as ever.
For my own daddy, Sha, as you get, the man is 75.
My dad is 89. The man has refused to.
Hello. This one is
a
baby boy.
My
dad is 75. When he had my siblings,
yeah,
my mom was 25, 26 when she had my brother. So if she was 25, my dad would have been like 29. 30-ish. Yeah, it's like a 4 and a bit age difference.
Anyway, I think family dynamics are very interesting. But enough of that. We've been talking about it for too long. Please, what's your Lowkey Relatable moment of the week?
Why is it me?
Because I did the last one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I did the last one.
Yeah.
You know we're supposed to talk about Diddy.
Yeah, we can still talk about Diddy.
Please, let's do the Lowkey Relatable.
Lowkey Relatable moment.
Is everybody shouting 1,000 bottles of baby oil?
Yes. Yeah.
That's the Lowkey Relatable moment of the week.
I swear.
1,000 bottles of baby oil is insane.
Do you know
and lubricant.
Do you know what? Should I tell you what's diabolical?
What is diabolical?
I cannot envision what 1,000 bottles.
Oh my god, haven't you seen the videos of the babe that says she used ChatGPT to put 1,000? Oh my god, I need to look for it. I saved so many TikToks about Diddy that I was going to show you. She says she puts 1,000. She used ChatGPT to put 1,000 bottles of oil on the table for so that she can see what it looks like. In the comments, someone said, "Come to find out, his pictures from Diddy's house." Okay. All jokes seriously put aside.
Damn. Maybe we need to put a TW at the beginning of this section.
To be honest, I don't even feel like we even need to get into the stuff that he did. I feel like we should just talk about how fucked he is because they have him.
That man is going to jail. They're trying to get this man on a RICO charge. And let me not lie. I love it.
He's in trouble.
Do you know one thing I love about the American justice system?
Is it racketeering or conspiracy? Anyway, Sha.
They need to get him on the conspiracy.
It's so in the school of TikTok.
Yeah,
I learned that. So Diddy's case is a federal case, and a federal case means that they already have the evidence. That's why they can get a grand jury to indict you, and that's why they can also refuse his $50 million bail bond request. That nigga said he's going to submit his entire family's passport. I don't know. Like if I was his child, I'd be like, now why am I in it?
Why am I in your mess? Why you in the mess? I was not there.
So there's no way his children don't know the stuff that he gets up to. I feel like his sons definitely, like, they're not fucking idiots. Like,
do you know what?
How old are they? Like Quincy and what's the other one? Sean Jr. What's his name? That one that is dating Raven.
Prince.
Honestly, I don't know his name. But like, I just think that like it's absolutely insane that a lot of times like these people have been like hiding in plain sight. Literally this was like an open secret in the industry for years.
Yeah.
And like from like what do you mean human trafficking? What do you mean prostitution? What do you mean they need IVs after the freak offs? Like what are you talking about? Like I feel like the more every single time I hear something about the Diddy story,
gets worse.
Listen,
it just gets worse.
From text messages that he had gotten, text messages he had sent, how many times he called people, like what?
Do you know what it is, right? I feel like it's not just America, it's around the world. But I feel like there's a certain amount of money people make that they're just looking for power. And the power might not necessarily be like, how do I describe it? It can be on any scale, and they're willing to do whatever they want to just feel powerful in that area.
Honestly, I think that it's just really sad to see Diddy go out like this. Not sad in the sense that like I'm sad for him, but sad in the sense that like he literally he could his story could have been completely different.
I don't think if he wasn't doing this is going to sound insane, but if he wasn't doing this, we wouldn't have this Diddy today or this level of Diddy today. Does that make sense?
What level of Diddy is he though? Because like, you know, it was what I found funniest about the court documents was that they listed all his names. They said PD, brother love
Johnson. Oh, what a do you know when I knew? Let me not lie. Do you know when I knew this man is going to jail? Should I say what I knew? When he started saying or doing all that brother love, and then he changed his name to
I think changing his name
love
to love
something.
was diabolical.
Yes. That's what when I knew this man is going to go to jail.
Like it makes no sense for you to change your name to love. Like, why would you just wake up and you just like, yeah, because I'm all about love. Bro,
no, but then
what?
If you're saying that the tattoo on his back, then you can say is even more diabolical.
What tattoo is on his back?
So he has basically, please don't come for my neck. I don't know anything about this. It's just surface level reading, Motishe. He basically has the preface. You know, most religions share the same saints, gods, blah, 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 but like different names.
Okay.
Right? So on his back, I've forgotten what they call her, but he has basically the voodoo religion version of Mary and Jesus tattooed on his back. And then in voodoo, that person is meant to like protect women, children, all of that. So with everything he's doing in mind, do you think he has the full gathering of his faculties to go and tattoo something like that on his back?
I don't think I don't know what's going on with that guy. Honestly, I wish him the worst.
I wish him the worst. I wish him hell.
I just feel like a lot of times people trigger warning for sure, but a lot of times people don't understand how traumatizing sexual assault can be.
100%.
And I think it's very unfortunate that he had lived his life doing allegedly, or well, clearly,
that man did it.
You know, doing this thing for so many years, and like the people that just look the other way. But I guess we'll continue to see how things unfold. I'm actually very excited for this. There's something that I love more than justice being served. Mwah. Makes me very happy, especially when it comes to victims of sexual assault that normally won't say anything. Oh my God, like Giselle Pellico, the woman in France, that her husband, yeah, like that story is insane because she was married to that man for how many years, and
he
for 10 years Christ. He and her neighbor. So I think what I find is so crazy is that he was able to find 72 men that were willing to do that.
Yeah.
Apparently some people came and left. Somebody came 6 times. Somebody that was infected with HIV came. Yes. Like he exposed her to her neighbor, like her next door neighbor was one of the men that like assaulted her while she was comatose. Do you know how insane and disgusting. Do you understand? Like, it's actually so insane, and I love that. I was watching some clips of her coming out of court and like people cheering for her and clapping for her, and someone gave her a bouquet of flowers, and I thought she's a very, very brave person, because it takes a lot for you to have such public scrutiny about something that is so like. Do you get me?
Like that, yes.
Well, I mean, like to me, this like
the doctor in India, horrible. It's just I feel like there are too many stories. There are way too many. To be honest,
I feel like these are even the stories that like make mainstream media.
Yeah,
because like when you really think about it, even like the women you know and people around you, it's actually so Like I'm finding it difficult to move away from the topic because I don't know how to round it up, because I can't round it up by saying like I can never tell women like they should do this or do that or do whatever. And there's so many rules that you should carry. You tell women to carry taser, carry this, carry that, wear this, wear that. Like, bro, like there's no, like, it just seems like it's a continuous thing with no solution.
Yeah, 100%. It's just one big hamster wheel. You keep going round and round and round.
Anyway, Sha.
It is, well, Diddy deserves hell.
Honestly,
throw him under the jail. Throw him at the bottom of the jail.
See, they need to swallow that key. Like,
lock him up. No, don't lock him up. Put him in Gen Pop. Let's see what happens to him there.
What do you think will happen to him?
They're gonna touch his bumble.
All right then. Doesn't he like it though?
Damn. Damn.
Sorry, that was supposed to be funny. Oh yeah. Should we wrap up the episode and do the rapid fire on the next one?
Okay.
Yeah? Is that how you feel? All right. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. You can share your own childhood stories, because Tommy obviously did not grow up in Nigeria. She grew up in the sticks. She's a London girl. So she did not used to ask for permission. She used to just say, "Hi, mom. I'm out. Peace."
Wow.
But if you're like, I mean, if that's your experience,
please, if that's your experience, let's rise up. But let's talk about it.
If you were like me, do you know, honestly, there are people that grew up in Nigeria that their parents were actually very chill.
I'm sure.
Just share your stories of like growing up and having to go out, etc., etc. Our handle is
Lowkey Relatable Pod on Earthing. That's LOW. I'm sorry.
I was like, what? I was going to dance to each other.
LOWKEY.
Anyway, we'll see you on the next episode.
Peace and love. Make good decisions.